Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ted's Modeling Wednesday. Getting a little bit started late. Had dinner a little bit too late tonight, but that's all right. Getting started. I'm going to work on getting the a link pinned in the top of the chat. Work on that. Hey, Boston, what's going on? Jason, what's happening? Good to see you. Got Jason and Boston in already. As everybody can see, I went out today and got a new webcam. So you won't have to stare at me. You can actually see what I'm doing. So today I've got a couple. I got this McLaren that I got painted last week. I need to do some wet sanding on it, and I got this Mustang. That I got some wet sanding to do on that as well. Then the Snake funny car, I got some, had some body work to do on it, filling the doors, lines, and stuff like that. It's a funny car. You don't need to see that stuff. So I'm going to work on sanding that out as well. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Link is posted to the top of the chat. Anybody wants to join in? Definitely more than welcome. Yeah, Jeff told me yesterday he didn't think he was going to be here today, so I think he's probably out cutting grass today. Yeah, no worries, boss. I'm sure somebody will be in soon. I hope. I'm not one. I'm not like Jeff. I'm not. I can't sit here and just talk. Get a couple of these pieces of sandpaper so water. Turn some light on so I can see. So while that stuff's well, I got some sandpaper getting wet in there. I put an order into MCV products, and I got that stuff today, or not today, yesterday. I got 10 of these straight. They're the spark plug boots. Got 10 of those. What else did I get here? I got all the AN fittings and stuff like that. All kinds of fittings and stuff for to wire up motors and plumb motors and stuff like that. Got all that. Got some steering wheels. We got some of the 90-degree spark plug boots. Got some of those. Window cranks. I can't see them. They're real super small. I got some window cranks. Got the Gasser front end suspension. Got a car in mind for that. And I got what's in this? Put it in this box. Got a 351 Cleveland. And I was going to use that for this car, for this Mustang. I got that, and then with all the stuff that he gave me, he sent me 4 free carburetors. So I was like, awesome. So yeah, I was got that in the mail yesterday. Amanda Boston said hi. Hmm. Yeah, she's in the other room. She'll sit there and watch videos. Yeah, so like I said, uh, links pinned to the top of the chat. Anybody wants to join in, more than welcome. The thing, there's no decals on this. I won't sand through like Fred did on his. So if anybody's wondering, this car, I painted it um, with some holographic nail polish, and then sprayed some Tamiya clear orange over the top of that, which I mean, I don't know if you can really see it that well, but it's got you can see it in that back fender a little bit. It's got like a holographic, almost like a color shift thing to it. So, I mean, I took it out in the sunlight the day after I painted it, and oh my God, looked awesome. So, and of course, because the nail polish that was underneath it was a little bit rough, the clear orange that I sprayed over the top also came out a little rough. So, figured I'd do you know, it wasn't my final coat that I had put on there, so I figured I would, do a wet sand on it and then do another, a final coat of the orange, and that'll make it really smooth, especially for when I go to do the clear coat on it. Yeah, I think it was like upper 70s here today. Wasn't bad. Got the barbecue out and made chicken wings. That's why I got a late start today. I was like, it's a good day to barbecue something. So, and of course, I sent texted a picture to my daughters because they used to love it when they were kids, and I'd make that for them. And they were mad at me because they're not here to have any. I told them, I said, well, then they need to move closer. Yeah, I was going to say, isn't that why the Corvettes they went to that rear engine design, try to compete with these? Gary, good to see you. Yeah, this is a McLaren, Gary. In fact, I'll show you this kit right here. Never figured out which way to turn the damn lights. It looks like I got 10 watching, so like I said, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. Anybody wants to join in, more than welcome. Yes, so far, Gary, everything that I've mocked up with this thing has been really nice. I'm really impressed with this kit. You know, yeah, you weren't here when I was talking about it. This is uh, a holographic nail polish base, and it's uh, the clear Tamiya orange over the top. So, and the nail polish came out a little bit rough. So when I sprayed the clear orange over it, it made it a little bit rough. So I figured I'd call or I'd give it a little wet sand, make it a little smoother, and then put one more coat of the orange over the top of that. Dan, how are you tonight?
Good evening, man. That thing is looking awesome.
I hear nothing. Hold on.
Oh,
I think I can hear you now.
testing
Nope, I
one,
can't.
two.
Oh, there it is. Okay, I can hear you now.
All right, that thing is looking amazing, man. Looks great.
Yeah, so I went out today and got me a new webcam.
Looks good. What camera did you get?
Um, I don't remember what the brand was. It's got the 1080p, and stuff.
Yeah, it
So
looks, it looks very nice. I broke down. I had all these webcams around the house from COVID, and I finally set one up on my spray booth.
ah,
I don't know if you
yeah.
saw that.
Oh,
It was
that's what I like
last
about this one is, I could probably uh, work on something to mount that up to the spray booth. So if I ever get in a live on, do my live on a Wednesday night and I need to spray stuff, I can set it up on the booth and
Do you
do it that way.
have a countertop you can clamp to?
No, I'm in an apartment, so I'm at the kitchen table.
Well, you could clamp to the kitchen table, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
That's what it's clamped to, this kitchen table.
um, I have like a rig.
But it'll probably.
I found this really cool articulating arm on Amazon the other day. I'll send you the link. This one, this camera here, I've
Oh,
got on a
okay.
rig that holds the light and everything. But I found just like a 3 jointed arm that just holds the camera. That's what I've got on the booth. Everybody, when I'm in here and I'm in the booth, they think I'm not here. So I'm like, time to put a camera up over there. Where'd you get the idea to put the clear orange over that?
What's that?
Where'd you get the idea to put the clear orange over that? I don't know if I'm lagging or you're lagging.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't tell. It might be me lagging because I can see. I got it on my phone, and it's lagging. I can see it. Let me try this. Let me try turning my. Let me try that. Is it still? Am I still lagging?
It's better a little bit.
Yeah, it's hard to tell if it's still lagging or not. I turned the definition quality down a little bit, so maybe it won't use up so much bandwidth or something. Yeah, I think that's probably as good as it's going to get without me. Otherwise, looks like I might start sanding through edges.
Did you what'd you put on that for clear?
I didn't put any. This is the orange clear was really rough, and I didn't want to spray any clear over the top of that.
Oh wow,
So
that turned out really nice. That looked
real
like
light.
I thought that was clear coated. Impressive.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd be able to see it, but I got a little shy in it right right there. But I'm not too worried about it because there's a decal that goes across this part here. So
I
I'm not
was
too worried about that.
I was bummed out. I don't know if it was because it was cold down here, but when I clear coated my Ferrari that I'm working on, I got some. I don't. They look like specks of dust, but they weren't dust. They were like air bubbles. I had like 6, and they were pretty big. And I was really happy I was able to sand them out because they didn't look great.
Hey, Donnie, good to see you.
Donnie, even.
Then I got this. I was going to work on sand, and I had, some body work to do on this. This is the Snake funny car.
Oh yeah.
So, of course, it's a funny car. It doesn't need door lines, right?
You try to, or you
So
filled them. You did fill them in, huh?
so I filled in the door lines, and then right here on both sides, it's like a mold air or something. You can see it sunk in, like where these, um, like supports, to make the side so it's not so flimsy.
Yep.
And
You know, that's
where those are just in the front side, you can see it was sunk in.
That's a good point on detail. Never
Right.
really thought about that. That the door lines are molded, and they probably reused them from another kid, I guess.
That could be.
I've never
That
seen a
could
funny
be like
car up close, but I'm guessing they don't have molded door lines.
no, not so much.
Here is my tip of the day for anybody that cares. Oh shit, that was close. Almost,
Oh,
I just launched a bottle of paint. Almost hit my work in progress. If you guys don't have
well,
one
look
of
at
these,
that.
if you guys don't have one of these, I think Hobby Lobby sells them. It's called a
What is
Silicoil.
that?
It's called a Silicoil. It's basically a glass jar with a giant spring in it, but this is the best brush cleaner on the planet. I just have water in here for acrylics, but I'll show you how well it works. Let's put that straight in some paint. All right, let me get a bunch on there. And so now you see the paintbrush all dirty. Couple passes across
Yeah,
the spring. I'm not even using any pressure, and it's clean.
nice.
It's real gentle on your brushes too. I got turned on to this thing like 20, almost 30 years ago by ironically, as I was getting out of the hobby, I was at a guy's house and he had one of these things. These are for like they sell them at like Hobby Lobby. You get them on Amazon. They're for people that paint on canvas, but they work amazing. I got one with water and I've got one with mineral spirits if I'm doing enamels. Anyway, especially with the brushes that I'm using are kind of expensive, so it's real gentle on them.
Yeah.
I was checking my internet, make sure I'm not lagging, but mine looks good. We have we're pretty heavy users here. I'm down here streaming. My son is usually upstairs gaming and on Discord, and then my wife's always watching something on streaming.
Oh yeah, I mean, I got 2 kids that are using the internet right now, and I'm sure Amanda's in there. You got the her phone on the Wi-Fi too.
Yeah.
You're gonna use all my Wi-Fi? Thanks.
Yeah, Boston Buds. These are never had a problem with these. These are glass, and they last forever. I've had these for years and years and years. To me, this is one of those must-have tools. Is you don't have to spend so much time. As you saw it, I didn't even have to rub it across to clean it, just dry the water out. It's one of those things that makes life easier.
Oh yeah. I love things that make life easier.
All right, where are my decals?
Oh yeah, so I got.
Did you see my finished paint job on the Roma?
I did not. Oh yeah, look at
that. It's driving me nuts that it drives me nuts that it looks blue on the screen because it's a very nice purple. But I'm really happy because I had like 4 of those bubbles up here and a couple on the hood back here, and I was able to get all of them out, which doesn't usually happen. So yeah, real happy the way that this one turned out. These kits are weird because they're
definitely just looks blue to me.
Yeah, and it's crazy because it's like a deep grape purple. I think the Porsche I'm working on is blue. I think it looks purple. I think it's a combination of LED lighting and the cameras in here.
Yeah, it's amazing how and everything will change the color of something.
Yeah, I mean, I've had times I've built down here, or at my other bench, my other house when I lived in California, and man, it's looking really good. And then I bring it out into the sunlight when I'm done. I'm like, that's not even the color I thought I painted. Yeah, see that these go together. The alphas go together like a die cast. Everything goes in from the bottom.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Interior goes in.
So I went and got I got me a sheet of this, the graphite.
Nice. I haven't seen Gopher stuff. I'm curious of the quality.
Yeah, I like I said, I've never used any of this graphite stuff before, and I was going to try and use it on the on the pan of this because it's
Oh yeah, good idea.
Try that and see how that comes out.
I've got the Tamiya carbon fiber sheets. Have you seen these? They're really nice, but this is the thinnest flipping decal I've ever seen. You have to be so careful with them. And once they're on the car, they tear really easy. They look pretty cool though. I've done a couple of cars where I've used those for the striping. Yeah, the Alphas are a little backwards. The interior goes in from the bottom, and the windows go in from the outside.
because here's the bottom, and I don't know if you can see. Oh yeah, you can see it. The mold line, like right in the middle of the,
Oh, it
where
has
the two
yeah, that has
plastics
a
came
that has a
together. It's not a mold line, but
like a seam or
it's where they
something.
injected it and the two plastics came together. No, there's
Oh
no
yeah.
seam or nothing there. I mean, I don't feel it, but you can see it.
Oh yeah, I
You know
see
what I'm
it there.
saying? There's no feel.
Oh, it almost looks like it got bent or something. Yeah, I see it. Oh, so you're gonna try to cover that up with a decal?
I mean, it's when it sits flat, it's a little bit twisted, but when like the two pins right here, when I push that up into the bottom of the interior tub, three pins actually, it straightens it right out. So and what I was thinking is, it's got these. Uh-oh.
Yeah, these the
Still
Alphas are
there.
similar. They've got a cover plate that goes on the bottom when you're all done.
Yeah. Yeah. See, because this has like no detail on it at all.
They
And
usually
my
put
thing is back
aerodynamic
here.
detail on these, but I just paint them black and stick them on there.
Yeah.
These
My
are
thing is
basically
is the back here's got these diverter fins, so I'm trying to figure out how I want to do that. If I want to try to cut like thin strips and put them inside there, or
I would maybe put the decal over there and maybe cut a slot. Oh, there's a lot there. Oh
yeah,
yeah,
because
see,
I mean you
if
can
that's
see they're
on
not
the Alpha.
straight, they're like curved.
Yeah, on the Alpha kits, they will literally give you a decal to go on each side of the fin and one on the top of the fin. It's crazy.
Right. So yeah, because that decal will cover from all the way from here, all the way to this line back here, no problem. So I'll be able to do that in one shot. Push this off to one side, and then should have enough left over on what's on the side to do this, in between these divert pins back here. So I think that's what I'm going to try to do. And then if it doesn't work out, I'll just spray it flat black or satin black or something and be done with it.
All right, Mr. Surge, I'm going to take a picture of this and upload it so you can see this actual color. Since he wants to debate if it's purple or not.
Hey, Serge, I didn't see you come in first. Wow, that's twice it's froze and I like lost
Yeah, you're lagging. You're
I
lagging a
lost
lot.
your camera and my camera. Yeah. And that's the thing is I went and restarted my computer and everything before I started today. So
All right, let me see if I can get this link to work.
Oh, there you go. Now you can see where I
Yep.
filled it in. You can see right where that sunken spot is. That's got it.
I got to start using my Facebook page that I set up for modeling. I set this page up and I don't ever use it. All right, now let me see if I can find this link.
There we go.
How do I link just? Okay, this might do it here. Let me try. If I paste this link, is it going to blow it up? There you go, Serge. There you can see it's purple.
Yeah.
So we were talking last night on Bob's live about that new Mobius. Was it an F-250? One of the guys in the clubs I follow bought a couple, got it out, and he's shown that it's not warped. It is really nice.
Ah.
A little purple Surge. He's what a comedian.
Yeah, I went to I was out doing some shopping today, and um, the mic over by where I live was closed down for a long while because they were remodeling it. So I was like, yeah, let me go in and see what they did, if anything, to the model section that they had in there. So I went in, and it was hard. They hardly had any models there at all. I was like,
What store was this?
Couldn't believe it. Michaels?
Oh man, I don't think I've ever seen models out of Michaels.
Was it Michaels or the hell's the name? Yeah, it was Michaels.
The Hobby Lobby.
Like,
go ahead.
Oh yeah, Hobby Lobby has way more than
the Hobby Lobby out in California never had squat, but the one near me here in Indiana is really well stocked.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was like, okay, so I'm looking at what they got. They had like that red, white, and blue 55 Chevy that
I've been
Revell just
looking at
recently.
that. I've been tempted to pick that up.
And so they had that and a couple other monogram I should say Revell, but they used to be monogram ones. That's why I want to keep saying monogram. Anyway, so they had those, and then they had the AMT, the 64 Chevelle Malibu, and that's a curbside kit. I was like, okay. I was like, I bet you the 67 Chevelle frame will fit in this no problem. And then I looked at the price of it. They wanted $40 for a curbside kit.
Gee, what kit was
They
that?
were selling all the other, full engine detailed kits for for $30. I'm like, what? I was like, yeah, I ain't paying that for that car.
I was talking about this one of the lives this week. When I got back into the hobby, like I said, I was talking about this last night. I was on the hobby for like 26 years, and I drug all these kits around me, with me every time I moved and whatnot. And when I dug them out a couple years ago, got back in the hobby, a lot of the kits I had were like $6-7. And you go to the hobby, or you go to like a Hobby Lobby or somewhere, a lot of those same kits are like $40 now. And I looked up the inflation, and if model kit prices had stayed consistent with inflation the last 30 years, they should only be going for about $28 to $32. So the price increase in the kit will far outpace inflation, which is crazy when you consider a lot of these they're using 30-year-old mold,
30-year-old molds, yeah.
They've already made their money off of. You know what I'd pay real money for? X-Acto blades that don't go dull after 5 minutes.
Yeah, right.
I just put a brand new blade in this yesterday. It won't even cut decals today. I should have done this last night. I have this interior ready to flat coat, but I didn't do the decals.
Okay, couple of things, Dan.
Uh-oh.
Serge wanted to know if you could show him the actual bottle of the paint you used on the Porsche. And nobody, I'm not trying to be a jerk. I don't get the whole dress analogy, white, blue, or something else. I don't see no color of white on that body.
What are we talking about, Jeff?
He's talking about your kit. He wanted to know if you could show the bottle of paint, the code on it. And I'm freezing up now.
Who's asking that? I didn't see that in the chat.
Serge.
1 second. Serge, the paints I use are.
I'm wondering if it's mine that's freezing up, Jeff.
No. Well, yours did for a moment, but
I'm wondering if the whole thing is just lagging. Maybe it needs to be restarted.
Yeah.
This is the paint they use. I don't have the factory code, but this is a factory color. In fact, his paint looks very blue on this picture.
You look up the color purple is made from, and it's going to have a blue hue.
Yeah.
And I've seen blue have a purple hue to it.
And this is the 2K clear coat I use.
Hey, Boston. So this is Serge, where I told you, and I highly recommend you get a pen and piece of paper and then start writing things down so that it'll help you keep track of it. But yes, that is an alpha kit. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dan.
Yeah, it is. So, Serge, if you go to proscalepaints.uk, I think it is, you can look up all the different colors they have. Almost, if he has the paint listed under a manufacturer's paint, that is mixed from an actual manufacturer's paint code and will match the real car.
Is that a 911 GT3 RS?
That the Alpha I'm working on right now is a Ferrari Roma. Let's see here. There's a picture of it here somewhere. Hold on. The other one I'm working on is just the GT. So the purple one or blue if you search, the Alpha kit is this. This is the purple one I'm working on. And then the blue one, the Porsche, is this Tamiya kit, which is a really, really good kit. I actually had it, well, I wasn't going to build it because they call this the fried egg headlights. This is one of my least favorite body designs of the 911, but somebody told me it was a phenomenal kit and it's really going well, going together nicely.
I want you to key right in here. That's what that kit cost there, Serge.
What are we talking about?
Oh, Dan, I'm sorry. Ted's gonna hit the share. I hit the share screen.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, they are not cheap. You don't want to get one of those if you're not ready for them.
I've never heard of blue dress feel, but then again, this is a model. I don't know. If I wanted to go for fashion, I'd go. No offense, Serge, but I'd go there.
Alpha is they're really pricey. I mean, it's a trade-off. Are they worth the money? I don't know. One thing about them is they're clean. They require very little prep. They have an insane amount of detail, but mostly it's about the models that they produce. Nobody else makes them. So,
But to answer your question about the inflation on model kits, there's back in the 60s and early 70s, the model kit companies realized that was a great free advertisement for them, the Chevys, the Fords, blah, 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 Chryslers. And then they got wise to the fact we can make money off this. And once they start escalate and copyright.
You're talking about the auto manufacturers.
Yep.
Oh, and they start jacking up the licensing fees.
Yep. And sooner or later, the 3D printed guys are going to get nailed hard with it.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. Well, we've had a debate about Alpha here. We're pretty sure. I don't know what that price. I don't know if he's fully licensing. I'm not sure because nothing on any of the packaging says that it is. And they're out of China, so you know what the chances of that are.
Yep.
But I'm pretty sure the reason he's expensive is if anybody's ever seen a cast resin kit come out of a mold, they're usually pretty hideous. And the alphas come out. I'll open one up in a minute and show you. The alphas come out almost ready to paint. I literally just scuff up the paint with like some 2000 and prime it. There's almost no prep required.
Serge, the best thing you can do is tell other people about it, make a channel, give a shout out, and stuff like that. That's the best thing you can do is unfortunately, everything in life comes down to, and I hate to say it this way, but sometimes clicks are clicked. Some people get along better than others.
Hey, Jeff, I think you have the YouTube stream unmuted.
No, I got it muted.
Yeah, an echo from somebody.
Here.
And I don't know who does Alpha's decals, but their decals are incredible. It's like one of the knocks I have on Tamiya is their decals tend to be pretty crappy, even on their good kits.
I'm not a part of this channel. I'm just one of Ted's group, Amanda's groupies.
And the groupies.
But yeah, word of mouth. Talk
Yeah,
to all the
she's,
metal people.
she's in the other room watching videos.
Oh, is that what's causing you to lag?
That's fine. Promote whatever you want, Serge. I just, the problem is that people don't, or in their model cars, they're not going to come in here or any live. Is Teddy's got the microphone problems, not me. His camera and his
Oh, his camera is picking up the speakers.
yeah. Hey, Mark. There's a lot of great stuff out there.
It shouldn't be because I'm using the speakers, or I'm using the default, or maybe I'm not using. Let's try that. Is that better?
Yes, sir. I can hear you a lot better.
Yep, echo's gone.
You can hear me a lot better.
Yep.
Okay.
How much do we have to pay your significant other to shut off her video to see if that helps?
3 bags of THC gummies.
No, Jesus.
All you gotta do is drive to Cincinnati, pick him up, and drive down to Kentucky, an undisclosed location. Jeff is very sore or very tired. And a whole lot of blisters on my thumbs from shoveling and raking. Make what free there, Mark?
You don't wear work gloves?
Oh yeah, never mind. I had a concrete curb fall on my feet
Oh,
today.
Jesus.
Jesus.
One little blood buster below my friggin' pinky toe on my left foot, and I'm like, "Yep, this is gonna suck." Oh, gummies, yeah. They're not legal in every state down here. Yeah, and they closed down a really great racetrack out in Ontario for growing that crap.
Hey, Mark, how you doing tonight?
No, what I need is a bottle of something.
Serge,
Jose Cuervo.
I hope he's not offering.
Yeah, that's You got the wrong Jeff. You need to go see Canelli for that. Serge, massages wouldn't do a damn thing for me. 2 torn shoulders. I think my right leg's going to have another couple of stents in it. As long as I get through, in 2 weeks from today, I'll be sitting on a beach in Florida and just enjoying the night. Already get my suits hemmed up. Saturday go to the wedding. Come home from that. Maybe get a couple hours sleep. Get on a damn airplane and head back home. I got stuck in.
When is that wedding? Next week?
2 weeks from this Saturday.
Where's it at?
Oh, 2 weeks.
Jacksonville, Florida.
Nice.
With the potential of being a one-way trip with me picking up a truck and driving it back, which means I get the company credit card and I'm going to stop and see Brian in Hobbytown on my way home. What do you need? Yeah, I just want to be careful of the beach, make sure there is nothing there that will eat me. That's okay. My brother's bringing over something
Hey.
for Carrie where I am down there. Poor Teddy, I think it's in September. He's going to get anal glaucoma on one Saturday. So he can go to a model contest close to his house. Not that he needs more model kits, right, Amanda? Told you.
Ain't paying you any attention. Watching her videos.
Yeah, no. I don't. Yeah, Serge, that NFL owner should have been put in jail or at least have to register for what he did. His name's Robert Kraft. Of course, most people don't realize NFL stands for National Felon League. I swear some days if you ain't got at least 2 felons, they don't let you in. Jim Irsay should have been forced to sell his team or hand it over his daughters and be done with it after dealing with the drugs he dealt. If you, Mark, freaking talking to a diabetic.
That's right. Serge is from Michigan, so he's a Lions fan, isn't he?
He does whatever Serge does whatever his girlfriend tells him to do. I like the guy, but last November she went to God and let me go. I would have told her, "Hey, there's a door. See ya." What's that old saying? It's better to ask for forgiveness and permission. That's why I don't get married or have a steady girlfriend. I don't need nobody's permission but my own. So where'd you get that one from there, Bobo? Teto?
What's that?
Where'd you get that 3D stuff from, Mayo? And you can't call him Mayo at all until it takes a year before you're allowed to say that there, Dan.
Who's that?
You can't call Teddy by his nickname, Mayo. You have to do a year's of apprenticeship on the live.
I think I asked. I don't remember if I got an answer where that nickname came from.
I don't know where I came up
Did
with
you
it.
see?
I just call him Teddy Mayo.
Did you see the video I sent you about mayonnaise being a lotion?
Lord, no, I didn't. Yeah, it all started. No, I know where it came from. It started one night when his other half sent me a conspicuous text, and I'm like trying to figure out whose number it was. I have no clue who it was, and it was Amanda stole Ted's phone and took my number down and decided to start texting me. I'm like, who the hell is this strange person asking some really weird shit?
Just randomly harassing you for entertainment?
Yeah. She sat here one night texting Rose saying, Papa. She wants to hear her dings on camera. Although that didn't quite come out right. As soon as I say Amanda, hello, I love you, she's good, and I don't get no more texts. I'm being replaced as Teddy's. I'm being trained as Teddy's replacement. Nope, I don't make Teddy money. I like taking him off with hot water. Well, if you soak him right, it does. Serge,
Yeah, some of
where
them come
have you?
apart real easy, and some of them I have a hell of a time with.
Serge, here's something. Go look at the file where it was printed. If you get something from Matthew Inman, he always links to whoever it was built by. You click on that, find that motor, and that will be basically your directions by looking at the photos. Some people get screwed up on the pulleys, which you're going to have to use some very thin tape or something to make belts with. There is some small rubber bands you can use. Be careful with that. Holy shit, I'm starting to make sense again. I need to quit that. And just remember, the Detroit Lions got a lot of great players thanks to the New England Patriots. Sending a coach out there who tried to act like Bill Belichick, and he should have just been himself.
Yeah, I watched some video today. They were, the trade rumors. They may trade Jameson Williams for to get a better pick in the first round. I'm like, no, they ain't gonna trade him.
No, nobody's gonna get. There's two good players in there. The one kid I would take if his knee was better is the left tackle from Ohio State. They say things get put out there by the team or the agents all the time to see, maybe I don't want to be at this team because I don't like having to be coached that hard. All right,
That's
Teddy,
what I
I'm
heard a
gonna
lot
hop
of
off.
people saying. All right, a lot of people saying that it wouldn't make sense because there's not. They said that there's not a very good drafting class for the receivers this year.
No. The problem is all the kids are a brand. I gotta have my own brand, and they don't put their effort. That's where Tom Brady was outsmarted. Was so much smarter than Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning may walk originally in the football contract walk way, and then at the end, Tom Brady made double what he did. He said, "Oh, I could live with $25 million. That way, I can get 5 above average players, so they're consistently better year in and year out, instead of having him and just Marvin Harrison and everybody else getting nothing." So if I can get an all-pro instead of an occasionally good third, fourth team Pro Bowler, I can get a first team Pro Bowler at my left tackle, my guard, or my center, who can identify things and make the team better. And every team will call, hey, I'll give you number 5 or 6 or whatever for this player. I mean, Gentry is a hell of a football player, but within 5 years, he'll be pretty much banged up. When you run a horse too much,
Yeah.
sooner or later it cracks, and there ain't no more getting it back.
That's like Detroit. They got the two different running backs, and they both have two different styles of running. And this way, they're not wearing one or the other out.
That's where the Patriots, they would have their 3-down back, their substitute back, and their scat back, which means guys like Kevin Falk, Calvin Ridley, and a few others that could just do a quick chip block and get out in the flank. You don't see great slot receivers. Julian
Edelman.
Edelman was the last of his. Yeah, you got to have a certain mentality to go across the middle. You notice Randy Moss and them guys wouldn't do it. They didn't like getting hit. Hey, Don. As a matter of fact, Don will tell you how more about that shit than I can about using the hot water. I think it was you I learned that from. I'm not 100% sure.
John!
Oh, not boiling hot water, but like tap hot water to get off some of the parts so they'll come off the bottom of the run. Not the runner. The runner comes off that little plate. I don't know what you call it.
What's the question?
Using hot water to help loosen up the parts to get them off the.
Oh, to get them off
No,
the support. Kind of
Yeah.
softens.
Yeah, these ones. These ones, there's not a lot of runners on these ones, so they're coming off pretty easy. They're not, I'm not having a real hard time getting these ones off.
That shit can be fragile. I got a 3D printed friggin' engine. No, sorry, Jesus. Welder. I chipped it somehow.
It's easy to do.
That was Don, Ben.
Oh, fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dante Hightower is the
All
last.
over the damn floor. How about a 65 Mustang wagon?
Oh, you print bodies now?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
That came off the printer today.
That off the second printer you got, or the
Yeah.
old?
Yeah, it's off the 12K. I still got to print
Good,
the
I need
interior
it.
parts. I got to print the interior parts of the chassis.
I need a Vista Cruiser like the one on that 70 show.
The guy that did the file for this has probably got one. He's only got like 500 files on Colts. They're all complete kits.
No, they all curbside, or can you make them with the opening hoods?
No, a lot of them. Well, most of them. I think this is one of his early ones. But most of the hoods you can print it with the hood separate. Some come with engines, some don't.
If it's 500 files, I don't think it's Andy then. But I'm not as immersed in that as you.
Huh?
I'm not as immersed in the 3D stuff as you are. You've been doing. You're one of the longest running people on YouTube for it.
I'm getting pretty good at it.
Yeah,
Hell,
I seen that Matthew's got the damn back half for that 12 scale Camaro.
Yeah, I was going to jump in on some of that for another guy, but he kind of showed his ass about some stuff, so I'm not doing any 12 scale stuff. Well, I was about half sick, and we had all kinds of plumbing issues with the house, so I was tied up. I mean, we had to dig. We had to lay 65 foot of pipe, 75 foot of pipe from the water main to the house, and then a bunch of replumbing inside the house and the new floor in my bathroom. It didn't leave a whole lot of, time to just chill out and do something in here. It was lay around about half comatose.
You guys get stuck from the water main to the house, Bill, for piping? Oh,
yeah. Anything that's on the house side of the meter is our responsibility.
A lot of friggin' piping.
Yeah, and I don't operate that manual backhoe as well as I used to anymore.
Don't even mention I had to operate one of them today.
but it's done. My bathroom's like 90% done. I still got to set the commode, but I'm just been having to catch up with myself. I ain't felt good. Um, the weather can't make up that bipolar bitch. Every time, one day I'm wearing shorts and flip flops, next day I'm, dressing like I'm fixing to go to Alaska or something.
Yeah, it's been like that the last couple of days here. I wear a jacket in the morning. It's 35 degrees on my house. I left work today at 2 p.m. It's 80.
Yeah.
I'm just praying to God it ain't too friggin' hot where I got to go in a couple weeks. Going,
I really should be used to that. When I lived out in LA out in the desert, it was like that. But it was predictable. Like it would be 30 degrees in the morning, and as soon as the sun popped over the mountains, it's like somebody just turned the heat on.
Well, yesterday it was 65 here, and I was like, well, I can go down to just my friggin' long john top, and went out today with that on, and nope, came back in, got my damn hoodie, said, okay, now we're ready.
Yeah. Ah, well, it is what it is. But like I said, what made me mad is I did a bunch of 16th scale stuff for the guy. I mean, who's doing specialty jobs like that out there?
Sounds like
One place was doing them, and can't find Alton no more on anywhere.
Oh, Ron Olson's on Colts now.
Okay, because I was looking for him and I couldn't find him. I'm like,
because I bought some of his files because all his files are written in 12th scale. Oh.
do they scale down well? I've heard sometimes those files don't go well in one direction
Some
or the other.
do, some don't. His big block header scaled down great, so I bought a small block header pack. Not so much. I had to play around with them damn things. Made me say some bad words in here.
oh, you mean the ones me and Jimmy say on a relentless basis? With a few.
God, he was on a roll last night. Where were you last night, Jeff? Jimmy got on a Bob's, and I think he forgot he was live, and he was just cussing nonstop.
Yeah. Sometimes he gets like that.
I sat in the goddamn recliner because I had to put my leg up because of it swelling up. I'm like, yep.
And you fell asleep.
Don and Bob were being adults, and Jimmy was being Jimmy.
Now Jax, he's over there. He got out sometime today. He come home. I think he got into it with a cat. He got the worst end of it.
If you met Jax, he thinks he's a cross between a hyena and a Siberian tiger. He's a good little shit. Don't get me wrong.
Jax is a 20-pound miniature schnauzer that thinks he's an 80-pound Rottweiler.
I've got we've got an 18-pound miniature schnauzer. He thinks he's the toughest, baddest dog in the neighborhood.
Well, I mean, I raised him that way. I mean, I played as rough with him as I would a 200-pound dog, and he loved it.
He was trying to get it through the fence on my neighbor's Rottweilers the other day. I'm like, you ain't winning that one, buddy.
He was about, I guess he was about a year, maybe 2 years old. We had a big, we had a 90, well, actually, it was damn near 100-foot tall oak out here. And, of course, it was covered in vines. They were choking it. But we cut the vines off at the bottom, let them dry out. We're out there Dad and I are out there pulling vines off the tree. And I heard him a growling and a grunting. I looked around behind me. He done grabbed the vine. He was helping out.
What the hell are... trying to find Competition Resin's website, and now it's friggin' linking me everywhere but his own.
Huh. oh yeah. Oh. I printed this last week. Black Box's Hot Bug.
That's cool.
It's a drift car. It's a drift car.
I'm surprised Scott really hasn't got one of them from you yet.
That need a donor kit?
No, it's a curbside. It's 45 pieces. Well,
You know, Don, this is what I've been working on lately.
Yeah, I've seen that. What
I've been working.
spaghetti car is that?
That is the base on this is a holographic nail polish, silver holographic nail polish, and then that's Tamiya clear orange over the top.
What kit is it?
It's Fujimi kit.
Oh, that's one in corner horse. A McLaren.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
nothing about the corner horse.
I was at where did I get this kit? I got it at Acme, and I think I only paid like $15 for it.
Damn, you stole that.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I've never built the Fujimi kit. I never built the McLaren, and I always liked the McLaren. I thought the McLarens were cool.
I built one.
So I saw that,
20
and I was like, for $15, might as well. Shit.
Yeah, I built the MPC 20th scale back a long time ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, it could have been that long ago. I was a sophomore in high school. That wasn't that long ago.
If you're anything like me, Don, it was over 4 years ago.
Mine was over 40 friggin' years ago.
And I know.
We,
I was going to say, it's been 40 years since I've graduated.
yeah, my 40th class reunion's coming up. I got my email
My 30th is
invitation.
in June.
Damn it.
Oh no, shit! My 30th was last June. Damn.
I don't know.
Yeah, my 40th 40 year was last year.
I went to my 20th. My sister's like, "We're not going to go to your 40th?" I says, "I don't know. I don't really want to sit around and talk about procedures and heart attack scars and what kind of laxative you going."
That is kind of interesting how that changes as you get older, right?
Right.
I noticed that at work. Is like, when the hell did everybody start talking about dietary supplements? And it used to be like, hey, where are we going to eat complete shit for lunch?
Right.
Now it's
Well, see, at my 20th, I hooked up with a chick that wouldn't give me the time of day back when we were in school together.
Better late than never.
You know, at the 40th, I may not want to see her now.
maybe want to. How long ago was it? 15 years ago? You don't want to go and she'll find out like,
ago.
what's that?
Now, I've been out of high school 40 years this
Oh
year.
no, when did you hook up with her? How long ago?
20 years ago.
Yeah, he don't want to show up and, hey, Dad, I'm old enough to drink.
Yeah, I mean, she's let's see. Well, then, I say 20 years. She was late 30s. You know, we were still in pretty good shape back then. Oh, come on, Kevin. It's been longer than that. You went to high school on horseback.
You know, he claims he's only 55 years old, Don.
75 years old. Is that what you said?
Don, Kevin claims to me he's 55.
Well, then I'm older than he is.
Believing that is like believing
Bob, I didn't see you there. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah, Bob.
Because he ain't but 55.
Good to see
I'm
you, Bob.
58.
Damn it. I can't find that body anywhere on here.
I turned 58 last month.
Yeah, what? I think Bob, you already turned 60 this year, didn't you?
Nope, next month.
Hey, Don, you might be able
I'm
to.
hanging out with the old guys.
Yeah, because I'll be. I turned 60 in October, so not too far behind you.
Well, I'm not the youngest in the room. Lieutenant Diane is.
I think Bob might got him. I'm not sure. Bob, you just.
Bob's older than me.
Yep,
I
and
turned 60 in like 3 weeks.
Bob's
Yeah, he
got
got-
me by a few months.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I gotta
y'all
wait
older.
to get to 60.
My sister turned 60 back in February, and she went out to Phoenix, Arizona, to she was given up for adoption at birth. So one of her adopted sisters flew her out there for her 60th. Well, I took her to the airport, of course, dropped her off, and then went and got her. Well, that week she was gone, she had a hell of a surprise when she got home. There was 150 black balloons in her apartment.
Damn.
You know, she didn't think it was as funny as you did.
It's because it didn't happen to me.
And I gotta echo what Bob. We had the condos we do, a place above it we do with all the winter maintenance for plowing. It's where people get like to their 80s retire to. It's because it's got nursing staff, it's got maids, it's got
Hey, Donnie, Kevin,
Healthcare.
all you guys.
kind of a high end nursing home as we call it. Guy was like, "Yep, this person died this year." That I'm just looking, going, Mike, I can't keep up, man.
Actually, my last old lady, she was telling me her mother got into reading the obituaries in the paper. She said, it got bad enough. We'd be sitting down at dinner, and if she said, you remember so-and-so, the next words out of her mouth, they dead. I got called earlier today. Guy you used to race fly cars with down in Talladega passed away. His funeral is Saturday.
Everybody says, well, you get older, life takes from more than gives us. No, it took from us when we were younger. We just didn't recognize it as much.
Yeah, I'm at that age now. I go to more funerals than I do wedding receptions.
I don't
Let me
think
put
that,
going.
I think that's lost on Jimmy when I tell him, go meet these people because you may never get a chance again.
Yeah, I always, as
Wait,
you get older,
there's a difference between a funeral and a wedding reception?
Well, that's like little Johnny. He got, he'd be, the parents would take him to a wedding, and all the old people would come up, pinch his cheek, and go, you're next, you're next. So he decided to flip the script on him. Next time he's at a funeral, he looked at them and go, you're next, you're next.
Fair point.
Well, if you noticed, the funeral march and the wedding march songs start out the same. That's like I helped the neighbor lady across the street the other day with a couple of things. And she says, oh, aren't you sweet? I ought to marry you. Man, see how it is? You do something nice and someone threatens you with a life sentence.
Yeah, something right.
That's my buddy Jason's dad, Kenny. He said, Don, he says, why are you single? He says, you're not a bad looking man. You seem to be pretty smart. You're caring. You work hard. I said, well, you said it. He said, what's that? I said, I'm overqualified.
Don's not alive, and the way that these females act, toxic femininity, yeah, it's a real thing.
Well, these women, they read them stupid romance novels, so they want a man of mystery. What a man of mystery turns out to be in reality is a guy in a wife beater getting handcuffed, being stuffed back in a patrol car, and his last words is, "Don't you smoke all my marbles."
Not lying. The worse you are to women, the more they like you for some odd reason. You're nice to them, they want nothing to do with you. I have 3 older sisters, and I see the way the game played, and I screw that shit.
I was married once. I lived with a few of them, and one thing I figured out about women: they're all nuts. There's nuts, and it just graduates worse and worse and worse. And think about it. All right, I'm 58 years old. A woman in my age group, she is single for a reason, and it's usually not a good one.
You're not wrong.
There's only 2 people in here married, and they're both dead and Mayo.
I mean, I'm a big fan of the Andy Griffith Show. And if you noticed, the only married man in town was the town drunk.
Yeah.
And you wonder why.
Otis, poor Otis.
Well, he's the one that said I do. Which I shouldn't say nothing. I said it once.
So Roxy, Kevin wants to get a day off for Acme this year. I'm not Acme, for Akron this year. Like my friend, he's dating a girl. So I like her, but she flips out if I touch anything. If I did something, I worked in the garage for a moment, came in, and I didn't wash my hand, touch something. She freaks out. I was like, "Yep, time to get rid of her." Wait till she has kids. I'm like, what do you mean? Oh, she's gonna be. You think she's a germophobic now? Wait till next time.
Jeff, Kevin is feeling neglected.
No, I'm not. I didn't say nothing. I just said
Hey,
Kevin
Red,
wants
how
to
you
pay
doing
for
tonight?
Acme for a show.
Hey, Red.
Well, it's like this guy. He waits till he's 42 years old to get married for the first time. You know, he built a career, savings, all that. You know, he's doing good in life. He's a car guy. He's bought himself a few toys. Gets married. 6 months into the marriage, he's down there in the garage and he's rubbing on one of his cars. His wife comes down there, looks around at all of his toys, says, "You know, you need to sell some of these." He puts his towel down, looks at her, says, "You know, you sound like my ex-wife." She said, "I thought you'd never been married before." He said, "I haven't." Well, you know why divorces are so expensive, don't you?
Is it worth it?
Got that right.
Oh, mercy.
Of course, I don't know. I probably should have just killed my ex-wife. Everybody says you'd have went to prison. I said, yeah, but I'd have got out in 10 to 11 years. The bitch would still be dead.
Okay.
Well, my past, I mean, shit. I did 7, 10, ain't 3 more. That ain't much time.
Oh, Red, I know I'm just busting your balls. Yeah.
Of course, all this humor, you might understand why I'm single.
I would have agreed with you in my first marriage. Of course, I'm coming up on Sunday is me and my wife's 23rd anniversary of our first date, which she still tracks. And July will be our 22nd wedding anniversary. I got very lucky the second time around, but not the first time. And pretty much everything you said was true.
Sometimes you have to learn the hard way.
Yeah, I married my high school sweetheart, and it wasn't that sweet in high school. I was just too dumb to realize it.
And Dan, as I said multiple times, somebody goes, "Why have you really never got married?" I said, "I find all the kooky ones that talk about getting married within the first 2 weeks. Yeah, what's the second 2 weeks like after that?" I said, "Figure out how to get all my shit out of our house without her seeing."
I tell you, I got to go along with Sam Kinison on that. You know how you get rid of one real fast and make them feel sorry at the same time? Just do lots of cocaine, sell the TV, the furniture, have drug dealers coming by all hours of the night. She packs up and leaves, and she's crying, going, "I hate to leave you in such a bad shape, but I can't take it anymore."
Actually, I think for him, that was a true story, wasn't it?
Yeah.
More than just Sam Kinison. I didn't sell the TV, but I sold a lot of stuff to do it. And the damn part, it was cheaper than pot. I ain't figured that one out yet.
Alrighty. All I got left here is I got to wait till tomorrow, clear coat this or flat coat this interior, and then the interior can go in.
Wait, Kevin, hold it. Kevin, the way you talked, that the second one bossed you around and ordered you around all the time, so I'm just asking.
Hey, my
Yeah, Red,
ex-wife was the
I
most
got married.
expensive I ever had.
Red, I got married 3 months out of high school. Went in the military and decided I want to be off base, and we got married when I was 18. Now we were married 8 years, together for 10, but I would love to have that 10 back.
Let me put it to you this way. You know the difference between a boss and a wife?
The salary?
One pays you to yell at you, the other and you pay to yell at you.
Well, you know what the difference is between a job and a marriage? A wife, don't you?
When you get to leave.
The job still sucks after 5 years.
Oh,
Hey, you get a valid point there. Oh,
Yes,
that's
I'm
right.
a card-carrying member of the Woman Haters Club, the He-Man Haters Club.
Yeah, remember that one.
The He-Man Woman Haters Club.
Yep.
Yep.
Actually, yep.
Dawn came up as Alfalfa. Not Elf. Fuck, I can't remember which one now.
Spanky.
Okay. And Kevin Smith, right.
Thank
Kevin Smith said his first wife was a nymphomaniac. At 18, Kevin, that's what you pray for. So you get it and find out how much work it is. Oh, God, now I'm starting to sound like Jimmy, little Jimmy. Oh, this ain't good. This ain't good.
Well, that's-
Gee, Richard, that's an awful pretty girl down there. I wonder if she goes out with one of the Yankees.
It's like these guys. I sure would like to have a threesome with them two over there. I'm thinking, if you can't take care of the one you got, you going to take on two?
And it's more work than you think.
You damn right.
I told one girl, she goes, "What about please me?" I said, "Look, I'm here for me, not for you." Apparently it was the wrong answer. Yeah, you missed that part, Bob. Somebody said, "Yep." Apparently Jimmy forgot whose live he was on. What do you mean? I was like, I'm sitting in my TV, my recliner, leaned back, get my leg up in the air. And There you and Don are being adults, and Jimmy just being Jimmy.
Whoopsie.
What color is that? A purple you put on that with that silver, Bob? Bob's got us all muted again, or what? Kevin, I am not even going to touch that joke. I am not saying a word to that one.
Oh, let me check on my little fella here.
Oh, don't do that on camera.
Hey, bud,
Oh, he's talking about the dog.
Oh,
man, that ear's torn up, Bubba.
yeah. I'm too used to the other group I've been hanging out with, people like Gary.
Yeah, okay, we all understand that. Jimmy still can't figure out a time when he can sit down with y'all. I'm like, yeah, Gary, I try to tell him, no.
Hold on, I got a phone call.
Oh God, Boston. Nobody said he. Oh, never mind, Bob. Never mind, Boston. That is a futile argument.
So, baby. Bet you won't mess with that damn cat again, will you? Just curl up there and chill out, big boss. Yeah. You'll be good, huh? Ugh.
What was it you said? Somebody said one night the difference between our generation and millennials, between Generation X and millennials and Gen Z. We were so responsible. We went out clubbing until 3 a.m. Went into work with the same clothes. We were friggin' hung over. Well, still half drunk. We still made it into work.
Yep.
Say we were productive, but we didn't show up.
These millennials, they come dragging ass in because they was up all night playing a video game.
We're drinking White Claws.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but yeah, no.
I was like when I first went to Germany, when I was in the army, I don't recall one day that I didn't show up for PT formation still hungover.
That's when you can get a case of beer for like $5 at the PT.
Why, when we could go downtown Schweinfurt, 4 of us with a $20 bill and get wrecked.
Well, you know what was a good night when you have to wear sunglasses to open the refrigerator door.
No, I haven't,
Really?
Boston. I have been working my tail off lately. And now tomorrow I'm just praying to God my friggin' arms work. I can get some actual modeling done.
Now, this little Mustang wagon ain't perfect, but close to it's good enough for the kind of girls I used to date.
Now, does that? Again, I don't know what the hell so I'm asking. Does the filament's the one that leaves a lot of lines in there, right? The resin doesn't.
Yeah.
Now, do you have to mud that up still or not? Oh crap! Dan, your
I
brother's
got
back.
I got a couple of spots I'll have to work, but no, it don't have. Which I got my printers running slow. The default setting, the layer lines are 0.050. I've got mine turned down to 0.020. So those you get just a little faint hint of them. And I slowed the lift speed down, which helped on the shift as it gets taller. That, and I finally found a sweet spot on the angle. I print just about everything prints at 30-degree angle now, and I'm very, very happy with the results.
Now, are you finding any difference between you have the first one's an 8K and the second one's a 12K, or?
Yeah. On the small parts, you really can't tell the difference. But like I said, I've made some adjustments in the machines. The bodies, there's a little difference, but nothing. I wouldn't sweat printing one on the 8K. Biggest reason going to the 12K is because the Saturn II that I've got is no longer available. As the resolution gets better, the printers behind that are getting phased out. It's like what
kind of like iPhone every year, new iPhone. It's like,
yeah. The 8K, when I got it, a replacement tank for that thing was $58. I just ordered one the other day, brand new from Elegoo, $27. I'm hoping to in the next month to order a new screen for it. That way I've got one when this one eventually goes out, like the last time. I mean, I've had the 8K I'll have the 8K 2 years come August. And I would say the first 14 months with that printer, I learned a ton. Mostly what not to do. But I look at this way. You can read all the literature that's out there. You can watch all the videos that are out there, and you can talk to every printer guy with printers out there. Until you stick your hands in it and get dirty, you're not really going to learn anything. And that's what I've done. I just went, dove in feet first or head first. And
be careful with the feet joke. We got somebody in here again.
I'm
Lieutenant
Of course,
Dan's father's illegitimate son.
The first 2 months that I had that 8K, I had failure after failure. The 12K, I had failure after failure. Just have got it working right.
Been doing this about 3 years now?
Nah, 2 years come August. But my wheels and tires now, there's not a print line showing in none of them. And they've got, other than the color of the material, you can't tell them from a kit part.
Oh, I think it was Sunday night, me and Jimmy were talking, and I was like, if you ever get a chance to get Don's parts, he goes, what's the difference? I said, when you get Don's parts, you really don't have to do any cleaning up.
Wash them, scuff them, and squirt them. Finally got the headers painted and got the chrome sprayed on them yesterday for the 16 scale big block I've been tinkering with.
Now, how's Dark Cave work? You helping working with Dark Cave with his, or?
Oh yeah, Dart's come a long way. He's already printed a couple of bodies. I mean, he's had some failures doing it, but that's part of the game. Of course, right now he's gotten into buying old, what he considers old toys action figure stuff and that from his childhood. He's been buying that and restoring them and doing a pretty damn good job of it.
Some of them things freaking fit pretty penny.
I know, right? Some of that stuff, I'm like, who in the hell's spending that kind of money for that? But, you know, then again,
People who had them as kids and they don't have them anymore and they want to recapture that use a little bit, I guess.
yeah, that's what I have to remind myself. You know, I'm 58 years old, sitting in a room surrounded by model cars, you know, and Hot Wheels. Who am I to judge?
Okay, I was on a Facebook auction. Now, mind you, this was a while ago, and a guy paid for like $140 for the Chevy Bear Pete. I'm just thinking to myself, I hated that kid then. I still hate it today. I would never, but I was like, you know, that late 70s, early 80s, we had Chevettes and Mustang 2s and Monsters about all we ever got.
That and vans.
Yep. Everybody talks about the glory years. I'm like, yeah.
I don't know. I like the Monza and I like the Mustang too. Oh.
Yeah, when I was 16, 17 years old, the cars that we could afford to hot rod up were the Vegas and the Mavericks and Monzas and stuff like that. Cars that nobody else wanted.
Right. That's how they became hot rods. They were cheap.
All right, I'm back. I heard my name, Jeff. What's up?
Your father's illegitimate son's back here.
Oh,
He said he sent you a picture, Daniel.
check this out. This is so cool. The rear exhaust. It's got
Nice.
it's got dual pipes that go, and then it's got I haven't painted it. It's still in the brass, but it's got a photo etched surround that seals them in. Man, it looks badass.
And it goes to what you were talking about earlier. Is with the price of kits going up, blah, 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 you know, the shipping's what's causing a lot of that. But it's
Yeah,
like,
true.
it's like, I love a lot of what Round 2 is doing. But don't tell me it's an all brand new tooling when you slightly modified.
Yeah, and it has all the same problems as the original one.
I mean,
I don't know if you heard me earlier, Jeff, but you know that new Mobius F-250 that just came out?
Yep.
One of the guys in the Memphis club opened one up today and got pictures. There's no warpage. It looks really nice.
Oh, wait, I'll find the warp one. If there's one out there.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the one he's got, he bought two, and they're both. He put the bodies up flat on the table, and there's no warpage.
He must be the outlier from the first bunch of it.
Yeah, maybe. I'm highly considering going and picking a couple up tomorrow.
Now that Mobius kit, the F-250, or they call it a High Boy, on their first box art, a lot of people were disappointed. And then I think it was Fireball had the actual kit to make it that like the box art.
You talking about the new one or the previous one that they did?
Previous.
Yeah, I bought that one. It was like kind of like a purple color on the box.
Yep. And
It looked like it sat really high, and then I looked at pictures of it built, and I'm like, that don't sit high. I bought a set of mutters for it and everything. I actually did a little Jimmy Oleum. So I didn't build that one, and I saw this one. I'm like, okay, hopefully that one's actually jacked up, and I can put these big mud tires that I bought for it on it.
I haven't read.
Yeah, that's the one I'm wanting, is that Keeler's Custom T-Bucket. That kid ain't been around in a while.
Dad, I think you need to do a Rust-Oleum challenge just to piss off the cool kids. Oh, and again, I'm also great at pissing everybody off. Who would have thought? Don't answer that, Donald.
Well, Jeff just says hi, and half of them wanting to cut him.
Hey, he's not lying.
Now, there is 0 in that.
There you
bucket.
go. Rust-Oleum right there.
Put it up on big screen so they can see it.
Where is it? There you go. That's Rust-Oleum right there.
Sweet.
Very nice.
Ain't nothing wrong with Rust-Oleum paint. It's the applicator.
Yeah, that's a good
It's
point.
the operator. That's all.
Credit where credit's due.
You know, it's the same one. The ones having trouble with Rust-Oleum paint are the same ones that go, I don't need no directions. I used to help my Uncle Jed work on his old Ford truck.
Jesus Christ. Well, I almost bought a new computer right then, Don. Fucking almost lost my class, so don't fucking do it. Drop it.
You ought to know better. It would be your first go around.
Nope. So the more I think about it, I'm either going to go to St. Louis this year for Louisville for a show, or go up, fly down to Louisville, meet up with James Darby, and then go up to Indianapolis for a show. Hey, Marcy. Marcy's sending me stupid
Marcy.
things now.
Hey, Marcy.
No NNL East again this year. That's okay. Mark, my money's marked safe. Somebody said it was $200 for a hotel room for a night. And I'm like, do that?
In New England, yeah, I would imagine it is.
Well, it's technically not New England, it's tri-state area, which is New Jersey.
Same difference.
Hey, depending on where you are, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey. Most people, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York. And I can't believe it. That was the funniest comment.
Oh, you bastard.
I like Serge, but he called Marcy, Mark Marcy. I was like, well, I never heard it called Mark yet. And yes, it's a vicious cycle of everybody on Facebook sending everybody the same meme. But mine was, hold on a second. I'll have to go get this one. This one you'll get a kick out of. I'll have to text it to you. I'll get to the right spot. Or Teddy could probably show it on big screen because I sent it to him on Facebook. See if I can bring this up.
You did?
Yes, the one with the panty dropper.
Oh, boy.
Okay, Dan's got it.
See what?
Hopefully this won't get us in trouble. Here, I'll share it. I saw this. I sent it to Jess immediately.
Knock, knock, fuckers.
Hey, Marcy.
And there goes my washing machine. It's going to make a whole lot of noise now.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one. That's
But
funny.
I have that sticker, and I actually have that on a T-shirt. One of my trucker biker buddies, gave me that years ago.
I want to see Doug walk into Acme with his tinsel hair and that on his shirt.
That would be great on a T-shirt. Yeah. Don's got to wear his tinfoil hat and a T-shirt with that on it. Yep.
I got to make a new tinfoil hat.
What'd you do? Make baked potatoes with the other one? Or the dog?
Yeah. Nah,
Yeah,
he ain't much on eating nothing like that anymore. He done got the damn fight today with a cat in the neighborhood.
I take it the dog lost?
Unfortunately, he ain't the badass he used to be.
Yeah. He
Having
needed to
a
be taught.
schnauzer
You don't
like
mess
that-
with you don't mess with cats. Leave them alone. They're dangerous.
He went from being Tyson to Ernest.
It's all good, sir.
Having a schnauzer is like having a 2-year-old that never grows up.
Yes, I had a silver point schnauzer. She was one. My aunt used to raise dogs for show, and schnauzers were her thing. And she had this one litter where the bitch didn't take care of the puppies, and they got an eye infection, and they were all treated, but one of the puppies it didn't clear up, and it caused damage to her eyes. So she wasn't like blind; she could see well, but it was physical damage you could see, so she wasn't considered show quality. And of course, my mom's like, "Don't you dare get rid of her. We'll take her." And we had her 15 years, and she was like one of the coolest dogs ever. I miss my Misty. She when the sun hit her silver fur, it looked blue.
Now,
Well, this guy's not 100% miniature schnauzer. His mother was a registered miniature schnauzer.
And
But-
somebody zigged when they should have zagged.
Well, she snuck out the house in the
That's her
mood.
owner's fault. That's her owner's fault. That's not her fault.
wonder where Jax gets it from then.
Yeah, I guess.
What's that old
Not
saying?
me.
Dog can count to 3. He can learn 5 different words, equivalent to age 3. And I can't remember exactly how it goes, but the cat says do all this stuff. Average equivocal age 42. It's like fuck you, whatever.
Yeah, cats are assholes.
I know. I got one.
Yeah, they're
Well,
my last one. She was 16. She passed away last year before we moved. She actually, well, we had to have her put down because she was past her time. She had problems with her kidneys and everything. I had to make the choice,
That's what I'm
which is
concerned
the
about
worst
him.
part. I hate that part. I would have every animal in the world if we could skip that part.
that's the thing I'm worried about with him. His arthritis has taken over his hind end. He struggles to get going. Once he gets to walking, he's okay. It's getting him there.
Yeah,
Kid
there's
him, I'm gonna
a
make a doggy wheelchair.
supplement that you can get that'll help with the joints. I think it's called Cosequin. Hold on, let me check. Google Cosequin. Yep. My brain's not that addled. You can get it at PetSmart. You can get it through Chewy.com. They have it for cats and for dogs, and it helps with their joint health. But with the Cosequin and Brewer's yeast tablets, and he's a small dog, you could give him 1 tablet. It'll keep him from getting fleas or skin problems. It'll help his digestion, and the Cosequin will help his joints. And
we
yeah,
got-
I'm right with you building him a doggy wheelchair when the time comes, because as long as he's mentally healthy and still a happy dog, and he's not in any kind of pain, he deserves to have that chance.
So basically, I should be put down.
Yes.
No.
Do it. I'll do it for
Long time
free.
ago, Jeff. Long.
the volunteer list for that's long.
Yep. Like I said, I'll do it for free. Because I've got enough anger and enough spite for half a county. And I'll sleep well.
Be like going up against Tanya Hardin's guy that she had kneecap Kerrigan. Oh no, that's Tim Brown. You get me in the hip, damn it. Sorry, Marcy, you had that one coming.
Hey, like I said, make all the short jokes you want, fucker.
I ain't that tall either.
I still got a swift left hook, and you still got a jaw.
Like I
And we
told
will cross
somebody,
paths one day, and you'll wake up wondering who hit you and think about it for a hot second and go, oh, yeah, she promised she would.
what you're gonna do is you stand on Tim's shoulders and whack me with a baseball bat. Here, you bastard, take that. Trust me, everybody's
Nah.
short next to him.
I'll hit you with the baseball bat from down here because I'm going to take you out at the knees. It's not that far a reach.
Hit me first.
Never
I'm
understood
good with
why
it, Sergey.
people
It
have to be so
happens. It's
damn
a fact
violent.
of life. You can lose worse things than a pet, believe me.
I'm one of them people you either hate or love to hate.
That's what makes it
What I
fun and
don't understand is,
entertaining.
people that are like 5'2" are so rowdy, but midgets are fun.
Oh, thanks, Dawn.
I'm 5'4". I'm somewhere between psychotic and ooh, she might be dangerous.
So
Yeah, that's
thanks,
because you're a
Dawn.
woman. I think got nothing to do with that part.
Dawn, the lady that lives a couple doors down from me in my apartment complex, she is 4'9" and a half. She has to always throw the half in. I'm
Hmm?
actually when the micro wrestlers come back to bury.
Hey,
I'm
that
taking
half
her to those
counts.
men.
I'll give her that half. It counts. I can use her for an arm rest. I'll give her that half.
But I am going to take her to see the micro wrestlers. I'm like, this should be fun. I'm going to have somebody hold a sign behind her that says, "I am the Andre Giant of micro wrestling."
Oh, ho, 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 ho.
She could accidentally end up with a career.
Yeah, I'm like, oh Lord, she's a sweet. I just need to keep
The
her.
grappling grandma.
That would
Oh,
totally be a
really?
great wrestling name. I would absolutely use that.
Did I say that out loud?
That's good. I'm going to use that, Dawn. I'll have to give you credit. You'll have no clue who the hell it is, but I'll give you credit.
That's all right. I can still move fast when I need to.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Says the guy with the zipper in his chest.
That's right. I got
You
new
don't got to
clothes.
be faster than the bear. You just got to be the second fastest.
That's right.
That's right.
I ain't got to outrun the bear. I just got to outrun the person next to me or trip him up.
Yeah. Bingo. It's like them women that said, I'd rather be stuck in a forest with a bear than a man. I'm like, go right ahead, lady. It should be fun watching
Yep.
this one.
Because I can kill and eat and wear the bear. And nobody's going to look down on me for it. But if I kill and eat the man, then I'm going to get in trouble.
How tall are you?
5'4", and I know how to handle a rifle.
They still look down at you. They still look down at you.
Oh, they're going in the woods. They feel safer with a bear. That should show you how intelligent they are to begin with. Going, yeah, you ain't very bright.
You're missing the whole point.
He always does.
Look, Jeff misses the floor with his feet.
I can believe that.
I haven't done that in a while. That usually involved alcohol.
As I fell the other day, they said, "Did you fall?" I said, "Nope, the floor looked lonely, so I thought I'd give it a hug."
Yeah, that was good.
Let's be honest.
Seen that one this morning.
We've all hugged asphalt once or twice in our life. Jesus Christ. I wouldn't buy a kit for no. I wouldn't buy one of them kits for $60.
I don't even know what they're going for anymore. I don't pay attention. I only ever
What's
bought one. Salvino kits.
Oh,
How'd I get rid of every NASCAR kit I have?
Well, the only reason I bought it is because somebody wanted to do a build with me and they paid for it, so it didn't even cost me anything.
That's even better yet. When it's free.
It was a gift.
Those are-
You build
those
one,
are the
I build
best
one,
times.
and yep.
I'm still waiting on the damn wrecker. That's a snap kit, I think. isn't
well,
it?
you know what I say about that? If you can turn, you're not going fast enough.
Oh, speaking of which, Dawn. So a 1970 Dodge Challenger funny car, would that have a rear a clear Rexane window or just painted over black or whatever color?
No, I think I'd have a painted back glass,
All right.
a false window.
Yeah, Bob sent me a kit and I couldn't find. The problem with the kit is it's got an actual front end grill insert instead of the like competition resin would be.
All
Where they
right.
fold
To,
it in.
to answer the Salvino's questions for Gary, Salvino's has a club where you can pay for a year of membership. And then they also have individual prices on kits.
Yeah, Rick Silvino was talking about the whole tariffs thing, and it's actually lowering their prices of their kits in other countries. And there's
Yeah.
a place in the UK that's doing them now. I don't know the name of it right offhand, but they're going to be able to distribute it.
I'm not sure. I haven't really paid much attention to any of the news. I'm just kind of waiting for the hammer to fall from my local shops and see how much more I got to fork out to keep them floating. With the average price on Salvino's are around $55 and up.
I ain't sweat. I'm sitting in a room with 500 plus kits and 2 printers. I ain't got to buy no damn expensive small cartridge.
Well, that's my thing too. You know, I got the bed slinger, and I got 3 resin printers. And here at the apartment, I probably have a couple of hundred kits, I think. The boxes in my room, boxes in the hall closet, boxes in the hobby room, under the desk. Yeah, I got about 200, maybe 250 kits here. Everything else is in my 10 by 10.
Now, Don, you remember the joke about man looking for a wife must be in deficient? Send picture of both.
Yeah.
Marcy's case, looking for a husband.
Send picture of stash, yeah.
You must have a 3D printer and 100 kits.
Hey, I've got the gallery. I can pick up whoever I want.
I had a sticker in the race car trailer one time that says, looking for a wife that loves racing or something like that. It says, send picture of car and trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah. My uncle had that one on the back of his truck.
Now, my ex-wife hated the one that says, we interrupt this marriage for race season.
That's actually fucking funny.
The greatest bumper sticker.
But in my case, it's not an interruption because I like racing. I'd gladly go to the track.
Well, she did until we got married, and all of a sudden something changed.
Yeah, she turned into an asshole.
Yeah, and then some.
No, the best bumper sticker I ever see was on a Chrysler minivan. It said, "Wife and kids for sale. Take over pavement."
That's good.
I'm like, damn.
No. It's like that guy was running from a state trooper, and the trooper finally caught him. He said, "What were you running from?" He said, "My wife ran off with a state trooper, and I thought it was you, and he's bringing her back."
That's true.
That goes both ways.
You keep her. You wanted her. You keep her.
Oh, look. Now I will admit I wasn't husband material by no means.
Name one person who's perfect or a saint.
That's not what he's saying.
I know what he's saying.
But I'm still paying for that mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it a man can do something wrong? It's okay for a woman to remember it forever, but man, and they flip out when it's the opposite way.
Well, Marcy, there's my '65 Mustang wagon.
Beep beep.
It only looked better with some danglies off the back.
You know what? That needs to be painted that really, really like super sunrise orange that Createx has.
That's not a bad idea.
That really super duper red, that last clip that was going through a couple days ago that they were showing different colors. That seductive red or whatever the fuck they called it.
Dawn and Marcia, you guys got a question on screen. Hey, Teddy, I'm not.
No, there's no real restrictions. The only restrictions
but-
on files we purchase, we can't sell. We can't sell copies of.
Yeah, and
Without
other
permission.
than not being allowed to sell the actual files themselves, or in some cases, most cases, not being allowed to sell the items without some sort of permission and licensing, the only restrictions really are bed size or vat size on your printer, and
Yeah.
that can easily be fixed by manipulating the file and cutting it if you have to cut it into pieces. Actually,
my question-
I'm sitting here looking at my MS5 right now, thinking I'm gonna build that dragon that Loot Studios has got up with the 5 or 6 heads, and I'm thinking of putting it at 100%. That's gonna probably take me a month and a half to print, but it'll stand, and the heads of it, once it's all together, will be hip high. You know, if you can put it into perspective, like I said earlier, I'm 5'4", and the top of the dragon heads would be at my hip, and I'm equally proportioned. So do that. My
a
only
lot of
thing
resin.
with that's where I was going. That's a lot of money because that's a lot of resin. Even if you print the part of the base, like the actual physical bottom base structure, solid, and print the rest hollow.
Yeah.
It'll lighten it up, but it still is a ton of resin, because I know a couple guys that did it. We've actually been talking about the money they spent on the resin. One of them was lucky enough to have a sponsor give them the resin because they wanted to see the project done. The other guy paid out of pocket, and we were kind of all comparing notes about it. We're looking at probably close to $1,000. And you know how much it's going to affect the electric bill.
And I printed the
Because
black
you're
box hot
talking
bug.
hours and hours and hours of printing, days and days and days, day and night, not just, an hour at a time per se, where we would do like a plate full of car parts or a body or something on a car. How long did that one take to
Yeah,
run?
that Mustang took right at 8 hours.
That's not terrible.
Now, which I've got mine slowed down. That Saturn IV had such a radical lift speed. It was
Yeah,
screwing
you
things
have
up.
to slow them. Yeah, you have to slow them down because it'll rip them right off the mat.
Yeah, I slowed the lift speed down and shortened my layer height.
Yeah.
Cut the
Well,
layer
it's like
height.
earlier, earlier yesterday, I was playing with my my A1, my bed printer, using just PLA, messing with that, and I got a bunch of the files to build a rat rod truck, and I started printing some of that and seeing what it might take to get it to be successful on that printer. So far, I'm not happy with it. I need to, look at the file and change the orientation of the item on the bed, and move the supports, and maybe it'll improve it. And if it
Yeah,
doesn't, I can flip flop and take that printer down and dig out one of the resin ones. That's the only problem being in a a smaller place now, and
Yeah.
having a dedicated space, but not a huge dedicated space. I can only have either my bed slinger out with the AMS, which is a unit that holds 4 spools of PLA at a time to do multicolor prints, or I can put up one wash station and one wash and cure station and 2 resin printers. But again, double the print space, yes, but hours and hours and hours and hours of running projects, it's gonna really cut into the budget when it comes to the electric bill.
How much did it cut into your building time?
Depends on how many hours you're running it, like anything else.
No, I mean,
When it's just
building
me.
not.
Okay, for example, like when Dad had his stroke back in October, he was in the hospital a month and a half. My electric bill that month was $86 and some change with him not here. And I literally ran my bed slinger printer, had my computer going, had, I had all kinds of shit running because I was, cleaning the house, washing the walls, everything else, moving stuff in here, in and out. And, with the weather was kind of cold, so the furnace was going on, even though, I keep the furnace at a low temperature. And it was still, a little more than $80.
No, I was referencing how much actual building time of a kit or models you're doing along with that. I know Don does more. It's almost like you got a full-time job with the printing.
It just really depends on what you're making and how big you make it. It doesn't matter what kind of a printer it's on.
Yeah. So it's like right now I'm printing just stuff for myself and Sammy. I got a few pieces I'm doing for another guy, but I'm about done with that. So, and then the one guy done stepped on his meat. He won't get another part out of here.
Yeah, well, shit happens.
Well, he tried to start some schoolyard drama with Sammy.
Hmm.
He's 67 years old. I'm 58 years old. Man, I'm too old for that.
Sounds like he needs to be took to the woodshed.
Don just going around beating up elderly citizens, huh?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Oh, this one asked for it.
Look, after 50, everything's elder on elder abuse. This thing.
I'll just play my crazy cards. Claim my meds weren't kicking in real well.
I play my crazy card. The last thing you'll hear will be click. And then you'll feel real warm for a second, and then it'll get dark.
Oh.
All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here.
Yeah, I'm about to do the swim. How much longer is this thing? I want to go to bed. I'm tired.
Man,
Y'all
fucking
have a
old
great
people.
rest of your night.
Yeah, I would say a bunch of lightweights in here.
It's only 9:30.
I actually, unlike you, Dan, I actually did physical labor today.
Oh, you
I worked
worked.
today.
You poor
I
baby.
I didn't get but about an hour's worth of sleep last night.
Let me put
I might
did all
have
my
gotten an
physical-
hour's worth of sleep in the last 36 hours. So go take your nap.
I did all my physical labor when I was younger, Jeff. Now I get paid for my brain. At least that's what I tell my wife.
I am doing my best to be a nice and civil human being and calm myself down. Although Kevin Smith was trying to vote me last night, I didn't do anything. I went
Hey,
out and put my brain
Kevin,
on a
make
microorder.
sure that they are actually reading the meter and not giving you an estimated bill. Because Detroit Edison tried to pull that shit on me 2 months ago, and they used last year's average for the month. And it was at my other house. Nobody's been staying there. Water's turned off. The only thing that's on is a fucking porch light. And they used last year's estimate and tried to charge me over $100. I know Ohio Power is about as bad.
Us down here, Alabama Power runs all the water, all our rivers and lakes. And you change the color. If you got lakefront property, riverfront property, you change the color of your deck. They're out there with their nose up your ass.
Well, yeah, they got to make sure you're not doing anything that's dangerous to the environment.
Nah, they got too much control. We were cleaning up a boat launch. We were, we dredged it a little bit, was putting it back. Oh man. Holy hell broke loose on that deal.
Did you do it without a permit?
Well, I don't particularly agree with having to have a permit to work on my own property, but that's
No,
what.
but there's regulations you got to follow, and if you'd have followed the regulations, they wouldn't have been up your ass.
Yeah, it took 6 months to get permission because you got to submit a plan. Then
That's
they've
why you
got to
plan
decide
ahead.
whether. I looked at the old boy on the Alabama Power's little boat out there, and I said, "You might want to motor off on down there and go to your office." There's a lot of boating accidents happen out here, and there's liable to be one right now. And we had one last week up at Lake Guntersville. Oh, these damn fishing tournaments. 3 guys are out there, 3 buddies, around my age, a little older, out just doing a little Saturday morning fishing. And one of them bozos from the fishing tournament crew blasted through their boat, killed all 3 of the guys that were sitting there.
Jeez.
And then the guys running the tournament wouldn't even slow or stop things while rescue come in to try to get the guys. Things are fixing to get ugly with that group. I smell. I figure Alexander Sonaris contacted at least one of the families already.
Yeah, something definitely needs to happen. Somebody needs a dirt nap because that should not have happened.
Nope. And these guys, they get out there, they got these, these damn bass boats running 75, 80 mile an hour. They're
Yeah.
blasting across the water. About the only thing in the water is the prop. They're about as
Yeah, if
stable.
you're lucky.
Yeah, and they're about as stable as a drunk woman. So.
I'd have to sit out on my dock and test my shooting skills.
Yeah, it was.
Sorry, officer. Somebody said pull. Thought it was a skeet.
Yeah. It's ridiculous what they do around here on our water.
Oh, I know. It happens here too. We've had 2 nice days this week. Today, actually, it was kind of funny. I was going downtown earlier this afternoon, and I went along the river, and down where the jetty's at, where you can rent the paddle boats and stuff to go, and the canoes and all that, kayaks, whatever you want to do to go down the river. There was a bunch of teenagers who had gotten kayaks. They brought their own, and they were out on the water with no safety gear. You gotta have a life. You gotta have a life jacket on if you're going in the water, on any sort of vehicle, whether it's motorized or not. You have to have a life jacket on. They did not have life jackets on, and instead of hauling all 6 of those fuckers in and finding them, they escorted them along the edge of the river back to safety and let them go back in the water after they got jackets. Which I know as soon as they round the bend at the end of where it juts out into the bigger part of the river, I knew they took them off.
Well, that's the problem. See, there's no consequences to their actions anymore.
Yeah, it's like, find the little assholes, make them pay the fines. Maybe they'll learn that that's important. Because if you tip over in a kayak, your ass ain't popping up out of the water if you hit your head on a rock. You'll eventually pop up out of the water, but it'll be because your body's full of gas and your ass has been dead for a couple of days. And they'll probably find you somewhere around Detroit. And that's only because of the undertow.
so we got some kids here in the neighborhood that they've all out on their go-karts, golf carts, four-wheelers, and mini bikes. Wouldn't be so bad, but they're running a stop sign here at the corner of our place.
Yeah,
Central
if
Avenue.
you're gonna go out and play with your toys, be safe.
And folks don't obey the speed limit on Central worth a damn.
Mm-mm.
But you let one of them kids get hurt and watch, they're going to want to sue the person that hits them.
Oh, absolutely. But had they stopped at the corner, you know, it's like using the damn crosswalk. All these kids on campus. God, I'm glad graduation is coming because most of them will be gone in 2 weeks. They're like a bunch of fucking lemmings, curb to curb. They're glued to their electronics. They think the whole world will stop for them. We've had 9 students get hit on the same corner in the space of 3 weeks.
But somehow it's the car's fault.
Yeah.
Well, that's because they're burning petroleum. My buddy Sammy that actually owns these printers, he's the 911 dispatcher up at Geraldine, which is a little bitty country town.
Mm.
And he said, I knew this call was going to come, and it finally came. A lady had pulled over, called 911 because she only had 7% in her electric car and wondered if somebody could come jump her off.
Oh, should have bought a hybrid.
It took them an hour to explain to this lady, you've got to
That's not how
charge
it
it.
works.
You can't just come along and jump start it.
I mean, we could send you a tow truck, honey.
Oh, yeah, the tow truck one is $500 to tow
Yep.
that thing in.
Yep, because they probably didn't have the clause in their liability insurance to move an electric car. That shit costs money the companies aren't going to do. And if it's an independent guy running his own truck, he can't afford to pay that money.
Well, that was Sammy said the call started a little after 10. They finally got that woman home, which was only 26 miles away, at 2:30
None of
in
them
the
are,
morning.
Jeff. Wow.
But yeah, he says he knew when the electric cars come about, they were going to get a call like that eventually.
Oh, yeah.
Sure enough.
Yep.
Those are the same dumb motherfuckers that run out of gas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
They have
I
more,
was
they have more faith in that little light on the dashboard than anybody you know. It's like when the little gas pump lights up and your car goes ding, that means go to the gas station now. Not
Man, I
an
got
hour.
another 2 gallons
Go
in the tank at
no.
that point.
Problem
Smart
is, with
people
my
don't let
cars
it
in
get
Chelsea, you
below a
got 30
quarter.
miles left, so they figure they can do it.
Well, that's I
Yeah.
found out
You
my
don't have to do
little.
enough.
I found
Yeah,
that little Dodge
my
Neon
light
I had.
always seems to come on after I've already passed the gas station on my way to
Uh-huh.
work. I'm like, oh, thanks.
Like I said, smart
However,
people don't let it
I
fall
only-
below a quarter.
I only live 5 miles from work, so I think I can make it back on that.
Yeah, in good weather, you ought to be walking.
Fuck that. Fuck that.
That's a little Dodge Neon I had. I found out it wouldn't go 300. It only go 309 miles on a tank of gas.
If I had a way to walk around or to get around my apartment without walking, I would.
That's called a
To
power
answer your
chair.
question, Sergey, Washington and what the hell's the name of the cross? There were 2 accidents at Geddes where pedestrians got hit, and Washington Observatory, the turnoff going towards U of M Hospital. There were like 6 or 7 there this year that I'm aware of.
Yeah, just get you a power chair to motor around the apartment in.
That's right. I've seen some down here in Kentucky. It's like being out in was it Ypsilanti or Ann Arbor, whichever one lets you turn left first. It's down and all over down here in Kentucky. It's like that. I've seen some guys sitting in a left-hand turn lane doing something on his damn phone, and people
Yep.
behind him are laying on their horns. He's
Yep.
completely oblivious, and then a light turned red.
Yep.
You know, there was like 4 or 5 cars in front of them, and they all could have made it through the damn. But this asshole's fucking playing on his goddamn phone.
And I guarantee you, 4 of the other 5 in front of him were doing the same thing.
Yeah, probably.
It's
Yes.
like it's a medical fucking device. It's attached to their hand.
You know when I drive, you know where my phone's at? In my pocket, where I can't get to it because I'm driving.
Mine I throw it in the center console because I keep it in my back pocket. If I sit on it, I'm probably going to snap it in half. It's a droid,
I keep
but
mine in
still,
my front pocket. So. Yeah.
I don't want the damn thing jamming me in the hip when I'm trying to drive. No, it goes in the center console when I get in the car.
You ought to ask my dad about toting your phone in your shirt pocket when you're riding a motorcycle.
Yeah, that's a bad idea. End up picking your phone up in pieces.
I used to keep my phone in my breast pocket on my motorcycle jacket, and I had an accident, and the phone ended up causing me to break 3 ribs and destroyed my phone.
We went out there and looked for it, never could find it.
Did you try calling it?
Yeah, I was out there with my phone calling his phone.
Have the cell company ping it. They can usually find it by its GPS.
Well, then finally someone answered the phone. A lady had found it and was sitting on her front porch and answered the phone about a mile from where we were.
Oh, wow. It was in working order and in one piece?
Yeah, the screen was broke, but it worked. Oh, man. These 2 printers are about done, and so am I. Get this done. I'm going to tote Jack's in the house, and we'll feed him some crackers and milk.
I learned to drive in a 1979 Lincoln Town Car. Land barge, emerald green.
You didn't park that thing, you docked it.
Yep. With my eyes closed. And yeah, I could parallel park.
Well, I took my driving test in a 66 Dodge Coronet, small block 4-speed car.
God, when I finally actually went and got my license, I was in my 30s. What did we have? It was a car that the old man's mom gave us. It was a Renault. Went down the DMV, drove the little old lady around the block. She went, park it. And I just spun it around and parked it. And she's like, all right, we're good. Go back to the office. And she's like, what'd you learn to drive in? I'm like, a land barge. And she just busted out laughing.
Not saying it was a big car, but this one was
around like a ballerina.
It's like that post I shared the other day. You know, remember the good old days when you bought a new couch and a car was attached to it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, place is quiet. Dad's not here. I could actually be playing with model kits, and I'm too fucking tired. Doesn't that fucking figure?
Oh, being an adult sucks.
No, well, I haven't slept in almost 2 days, except for maybe close to an hour this morning before the stupid cunt of a shift change doctor had to call me, not bothering to read the notes on the fucking chart. Please don't call. I just went home. Literally
Hope
closed
the
my
well done.
eyes, and I was a hot second from being gone to Nana Land. My fucking phone rings. I'm like, I pick it up. What? Oh, this is blah blah. Yes, I know. Read the chart. But this no, you don't. Turn the page. Bye. Click. And of course, I couldn't go back to sleep. So I got up and I went to my appointment I had to go to. I would have gotten 2 solid hours of sleep if that cunt wouldn't have called. For no reason.
Well, you're assuming
No.
she could read
She was
or
reading the
follow
chart.
direction.
She was reading the page that she had in her hand. I'm like, turn it. Bye. And I went to my appointment and I went to the market for some produce because I gotta have my veggies, and went down to hospital, and I just marched straight on through right into the department, kicked the door open, and the security guard and the charge nurse just kind of looked a little white, and they weren't white. And I just stomped my way down to the nurse's station, and I'm like, Nick? And he's like, yes, ma'am. And he's Dad's nurse. I'm like, why did my phone ring? And he's like, she didn't. I'm like, she did. She's still here. Would you like me to go get her? Yes, please. Well, we went down the hallway and went in one of the waiting rooms, and I made sure it was an empty one, and I kicked the door shut, and I gave her a piece of my mind, and she's not going to forget. Ten minutes after that, he was assigned to a different doctor.
You're such a bully.
I expect people to do their job. It's what they get paid for.
Oh,
Nothing more, nothing less. I'm not looking for extras. Just do your fucking job and do it efficiently. That's all. Am I asking for too much? You spent
Yep.
all those years in school to learn this shit, but you can't turn the fucking page and go on your own. You were literally given the fucking directions. I signed all the forms I needed to sign in case there was any sort of an emergency where they had to make a clinical decision. Like if he had something go wrong with his heart and they had to zap him or what the hell ever. And I left to go home to sleep. And it's like we spend so much time in there, and we've lived out here since 2007. So there isn't a soul in the hospital that I don't know. In the county system or any of the cops, I mean, they come in and when I call and it's like, really? He's doing it again? I'm like, yeah, you guys know the drill. They see hundreds, maybe thousands of people a day, a week, a year, and they remember because we are there so frequently.
you ain't like Tim Taylor. Got your own coffee cup there?
Actually, I do on the 4th floor in the nurse's station where the real coffee's made. I also have one at the police station and one at the county courthouse. And every restaurant that I've frequented for the last 20 years, I walk in a place and they ask me if I would like my usual order. I'm a creature of habit. I change very, very little.
Well, Marcy, I had my assistant shift manager when I was at Walmart call me at my dad's funeral, wanting to know if I was coming to work the next day.
He'd be a dead man.
Oh, he heard all about it.
I would deal with my family obligation, and I would carve his heart out of his chest and eat it raw, and gladly serve the time for it.
I tore him up on the day I did come back, and then went to his manager and tore him up. Then I went to the store manager, and he didn't work there no more.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, and I mean the only other incident where I've had to get cranky with people that were not hospital people was when the cops knocked on my door looking for my son Andy because he was violating his probation. And I walked into my bedroom, got his urn, and I brought it I said, "Sure, officer, I'll get him." And I brought his urn to the door, and I handed it to him. I was like, "Go ahead, take him in." You never seen two cops shut down so fast and start spitting out apologies. I'm like, I know, your departments don't exchange notes. Yeah, his accident was in April, and they were looking for him in June because he, didn't make it to his PO. It's like, really? Yeah.
He left without travel orders.
But yeah, I don't ask for a lot. Like I said, just do your job. Do it to the best of your fucking ability. If you can't, move aside. Somebody else will.
Okay, no more. That's it.
Oh, one thing, if things work out the way I think they're gonna, I might actually be able to go back to work, and I will happily go back to the place I left. I had made the comment when I was off on leave originally, when the stuff all started with Dad. I had taken leave to take care of him, and I was debating on whether or not I was going to come back. And we had the crappy director. You guys all know the story about that. I'm going to have to tell that again. And I told one of the guys, we're sitting talking, I'm like, just watch. When I come back off of leave, I'm going to actually be terminating my time here at the company, and you'll get a new director. Walked in there into the store a couple days ago, and he leans over. He's like, "Hey, Marcy, come here." And I went up to the desk, and I'm like, "What, dude?" He's like, "Guess what?" I'm like, "You got a new director." And we just both sat there laughing for a good 20 minutes. And what's cool about it is it's the lady who should have got the job in the first fucking place when they hired this schmutz off the street instead of taking somebody from within the company like they were supposed to. And she has made it her mission, shall we call it, to get rid of the 5 friends of his who he hired as management when he came in. So every fucker is going to be gone. And I can literally walk right back into my job and sail off into the sunset back onto the midnight crew. It will be an asshole-free zone.
Oh, shoot, I didn't even know Dan left.
I didn't either. Oh,
Yep.
Don't know if he hit the X too many times or if we scared him away.
I don't know.
He X'd himself out the other night.
I don't know.
he pulled a Jeff and mashed the wrong buttons.
Maybe.
Like I said, he did the other night. He clicked X one too many times and closed himself out. We've all done it a time or two. Oh my god, my Discord people need to shut up.
Right, I'm only going till about 1 o'clock anyway, because I'm using the freebie, the freebie one, and I only got so much time a month, and
Yeah.
I want to keep doing these on Wednesdays. Just for, I usually do it about 3 hours and then call it
Yeah,
a night, and then
if you do an
go
hour or
spend the-
two, you can make good use of it.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like right now
Uh,
I've got my account suspended. It's on hold. I pay $26 a month for their second tier plan because I initially was paying the top tier and I threatened to leave and they gave me a discount. So I stayed and then I threatened to leave again and they went, you can pause for X amount of months. I think it was like 3 months or whatever. And because my reason was adjusting my budget. And no, we'll hold your account for you, and if you want to come back 3 months from now, you'll still get the deal that you originally had. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'll take the suspension for now. And I think I can actually share. I think I can still share my referral link. So if I did that and people signed up through my link, I'd get $25 credit. So I mean, if people took the referrals, I could literally use it for free. So, but I don't have the time to sit here. I'm lucky to even sit down and be able to watch videos or hang out.
Oh,
But yeah, it's
yeah,
gonna
because
sit there in limbo till I decide about it.
About 10 o'clock, I'll go out and sit in the living room with Amanda and watch TV. So,
which translates that he's going to go sit out there in the living room and fall asleep.
Basically.
That's pretty much what I'm planning on doing.
About 1 o'clock is usually about when I'll start to fall asleep. I'm one of those night owl kind of people.
Yeah, it's like me. I've had less than an hour's sleep in 30 plus hours, and I should be in bed, but I'm sitting here, and when I close this, I'm probably not going to go to bed. I got all this free time, and I don't have to do anything. You think I'm going to fucking sleep?
Yeah, it's like I don't have to work tomorrow, so it's like, why bother? Why am I going to bother to go to bed? So I'll go sit and watch TV. Yeah, we've been watching that show Yellowstone.
Oh, yeah.
No, what season are we in on Yellowstone?
4.
Oh, we're in season 4.
Hi, Amanda.
We'll take them
Hey,
down
Amanda.
to the train station. Hey, Mander.
I pretty much got the body done on this 66 Chevelle Malibu.
I like that paint job. That looks good.
Yeah, what is that? Purple on the bottom there, Bob?
Yeah. And silver top. And then these were the decals from my 64 Mustang at 16 scale one.
Yeah, that
repurposed
works.
Oh,
those.
okay.
I like that. That looks good.
Those look cool.
And then I added a little pinstriping. The camera can pick it up between the silver and the purple. I put a red pinstripe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Good.
I
Don't
wasn't
be
going to put
wrecking it with any more
contingency on there.
decals.
I wasn't going to be putting any more. I wasn't going to put contingency on there, but I had a couple spots in the purple that didn't look good.
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
need to do that.
Hide the boo boo. That's allowed, but don't overdo it.
No,
That's a
it's
good
not.
place for a sticker.
Yeah. Just do just
Like right
enough
here.
to cover up the imperfections and call
Right
it
here. Yeah, this area right here.
Yeah, and then make it the same on the other
Get enough
side.
paint on
Nobody
it,
will
so.
know.
good.
I ain't too worried about that because you can't see the same side, both sides at the same time. So,
Yeah.
yep, I'm kind of happy with it. I got to do some detail painting on it and get it cleared, but other than that, it's ready to go.
Yeah, is that the
Boston,
release of
my
that,
hands
Ted?
are shaky right now. If I broke out
Uh,
anything, I would break it.
I couldn't tell you, Ted. It's the I'll show you the box.
Oh yeah. That's the newest release of that one.
I picked it up
Yeah,
at
I got that one
Microsoft,
laying
and
around here somewhere.
Yeah, that's the newest release of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I got that same one.
Hey, you know what? That's
But-
something else I can do. I got all this free fucking time. Tomorrow afternoon, I can go down to the hobby shop. So much for not spending any money on a hobby this month. Almost made it. It's the 23rd. I almost made it.
It's fine. It's fine.
No, I gotta go down there anyway. I got some Bandai stuff I ordered that I gotta pick up. I promised I'd be up this week to get it either way. So I got some stuff for my robot girls. I got the 30-minute sisters. I got like 8 different ones I'm building, and they got all these cool customizing kits. And I ordered a couple customizing kits that I didn't have.
I'm gonna drop out and go find the recliner, guys. I'll see you later.
Take
All
care.
right, Bob.
Night, Bob.
See
You have a
around
good
this
one.
weekend. You too. See you later, everybody.
Yeah, and with that, I am going to end this now, guys, and I will catch everybody later. Everybody in the chat, thanks for stopping by. Don, Marcy, thanks for hanging out for a little while with me tonight. Appreciate it.
Yep, I was about to
And-
say the same thing. I'm gonna go watch
Yes,
something.
sir. Y'all have a good one.
Night, everybody.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Mine
I'll
too.
be here again
watch
next
the live
Wednesday.
play.
Anybody's interested in coming back on Wednesday, I'll be here next Wednesday as well.
Alrighty, if I'm around, we'll see you.
All right. Thanks, Marcia.
Bye-bye.
See ya.